Hey guys, so Burning Crusade Classic comes out like next week on June 1st. So they did what they did, Blizzard doing what they did with Vanilla, make a little video of celebrations. Um, so I'll probably talk about Burning Crusade afterwards. I mean, this is only a minute, almost 2 minutes long, so it's not that long. That's what she said. Oh, John, you making those kind of jokes still in this day and age? Yes. But we're gonna go ahead and watch this. And so Burning Crusade Classic, an ode to returning heroes.
Wow. Hard to believe it's been 14 years. Right, Blanchy? So here's a little ode to some of the heroes coming back. The ones who started at Burning Crusade. I will give their stories a whack. The last time these heroes were here, they charged right through the portal, then carved through all our enemies to the point they seemed immortal. Yeah, they got stomped by the Fell Reaver, the 20-story brute, but that won't stop me from giving the horn a toot. Our heroes have returned. So let us begin with this hunter here, an epic adventurer who took out that troll Zul'jin and that dragon killer Gru. And this is back in Classic with all those brutal fights, especially Kalthas, who caused 1,000 wipes.
That was merely a setback.
Our heroes have returned. Now he was a hero to the Blood Elves, and she to the New Draenei. She drove us all crazy with that phoenix mount she'd fly. And she'd storm the Black Temple, not a single soul was spared. And she showed the mighty Illidan it was he who was not prepared.
I can't believe it's her.
With everybody coming back, preparing adventures anew, our heroes have a chance to change the stories as they choose, whether they become explorers or masters of the raid. All hail every legend of the Burning Crusade. All hail every legend of the Burning Crusade.
All right, so June 1st. So is that fucking Ron Perlman, man? Okay, so Burning Crusade. Um, I've talked about Burning Crusade before. Back in the back in the day, computers weren't really that great, so a lot of people had the same problem with the lag. And Wow Krendor actually did a video a while ago about Burning Crusade in a minute, basically talking about the things of Burning Crusade, but in a minute. And one of them was the lag. How when you lagged, it looked like a slideshow. Um, Actually, let me go ahead and pull up the video just so I can show you guys what I'm talking about, because it's hard to describe, but hang on a sec. Okay, so this was the lag back in the day. Now, I'm not going to play the sound because obviously I don't need Krendor striking me down, but this is what the lag looked like. That's what it looked like. It was like a slideshow of just almost like a flip book. Like someone's just sitting there and they're just and that's how the lag was. And when you were in Zangamarsh, it was the worst because you when things lag, it's one is the connection, so your connection, the server connection, how much shit is around you. And Zangamarsh is filled with its giant fucking mushroom plants, and there's just so much shit there that your frames would just. And like I said, back in the day, this was 2006, because computers really weren't that great. You go to Zangamarsh, and you get this. That's how it was back in the day. And it was funny to watch because, you know, especially when you put your yourself on like auto follow. Like you would click on your friend and you would, auto follow, so that way, you're just like, oh, I don't have to do anything. But because of the lag, and because of, especially with Zangamarsh, I tell my we were dating at the time, so my girlfriend at the time was like, hey, I gotta go to the bathroom or something. I'm gonna just put myself on auto follow and just keep going. I come back and she's way ahead of me, and there I am, fucking walking against a fucking fence or a sign. And it's like, okay, you didn't notice that I wasn't behind you? So, the lag plus the fact of that, like I said, Zangamarsh was the biggest offender due to how much shit was there. But then you go to somewhere like Nagrand, and it really wasn't that bad. Cause usually open spaces like Nagrand, lag isn't really that bad. Your frames are a lot higher because there's not so much shit going on. Um, that's why if you notice, you go into dungeons, and for the most part, your frames will go up because you don't have a sky above you. You don't have all this shit to load. It's a small enclosed area, so even if there is a lot of shit there, it's still going to tend to be a lot smoother than if you were outside in an entire outside environment that has trees and grass and buildings and the skybox and this and so. But yeah, Kelthus as well. When they mentioned Kelthus, how it was merely a setback. Not only do we fight him in Tempest Keep, you fight him in Magister's Terrace, which you fight him in not Magister's, but Tempest Keep first. You defeat him there, but then he comes back, and he's in Magister's Terrace after that. He's got like the arcane shard in him and all that, and he's like, Tempest Keep was merely a setback. And it's become one of the most popular lines for him. Because then he says it again, I think in Shadowlands, he says something about it was merely a setback. So, Kalthus was great. Lady Vosh and that whole dungeon raid. Um, just the fact that you have to go underwater, swim through this long, like narrow pass to get to all the dungeons, like the steam vaults and stuff like that. Gruul, Karazhan, like there's Karazhan, and still regarded as one of the best raids of Burning Crusade, or of entirety of WoW, along with Ulduar. Gruul was a I've only done Gruul a couple times. I think it's a one man or no, I think there's two bosses. There's like an ogre boss, I think, if I remember, and then Gruul. You had Magtheridon, who same thing. He's like a one raid boss, one boss raid where you just kind of go down and fight him. So Black Temple, obviously Illidan. Um, a lot of people would pretty much wipe right there when he sends out the Flames of Azzinoth because they were pretty powerful. And sometimes the healer's just going to keep up, and suddenly you have these giant elementals going around swiping at people, and everyone's dying. And but Terran Gorfiend, the first I was the first Death Knight. So there was a lot of memorable stuff in Burning Crusade. Flying was introduced in Outland, which I never did. I mean, I knew it was available, but it was a lot of gold, which I didn't have. Two, at the time, I felt it took away from the experience. Kind of like what people say now. People are like, well, it takes away from the immersion. If you're able to just fly above everything, you don't feel like the world's as gigantic as it's supposed to be. Which is true, but you gotta remember, when you were flying, it was only like 60% speed. So you were only traveling as fast as a regular 60 speed, just regular mount. So you're still up in the air, but and you're just moving extremely slowly. So yeah, it made things easier, but it still took forever to do things. Now, there were some instances where you could actually somewhat speed yourself up by taking off at a certain like angle or running off, and you could actually make yourself fly faster, but it wouldn't last. Um, it was it was pretty bad. Let's switch over back to this. But what else? Well, like I said, that's when Burning Crusade is when I started. I started, and I still have my original characters that I made. Uh, Wowz, you guys have seen Wowz. He's pretty much my main from the beginning. Whenever a new expansion comes out, I level him first because he's my baby, and I've leveled him since he was just a level 1 warlock. Um, so he was the first one I felt passionate about to level enough to level. So I leveled him in Burning Crusade, and then it wasn't until Wrath where I was like, wow, this I really, really am devoted to this game. And, there I was, no flying or anything out in Northrend, and I'm running around, you know, just leveling up and stuff. But Outland with the Fell Reaver, they bring up the Fell Reaver. That thing was the bane of my existence, along with everyone else, because you heard the sound. You heard the sound coming. You didn't know which direction it was coming from. And then the ground started to shake, and you're like, where is it? I don't see it. And then just as you realize that it's coming from behind you, there it is. It stops. Boom, boom, boom. Dead. And what do you think the first thing we did when we leveled up was? We went back. We're like, time to die, fucker. Time to die. You caused us so much grief. But that sound it made, you know your death was coming. You didn't know when, but you knew your death was coming. Especially if you were like me and you couldn't fly. Or you mount up, fly up in the sky, and you see where it's coming from, but being on the ground, you have to like turn yourself around to see where it's coming from. And then when it's right there, it's a lot faster than you are. It's going to catch you every single fucking time. And when it does, you are going to die. Um, so the Fell Reaver was, and there was like two of them walking around Outland, if I or not Outland, but Hellfire's Peninsula. I think there was two. There was one on basically the side where the like Thralmer was by the Dark Portal, and then there was one on the other side of the zone over by like Falcon Watch and uh yeah, over there. So I think there was two Fell Reavers that were walking around. They each had their own little path. I don't think it was one that walked, because the one on the Thralmer side, it came around to the same place way too often, and they walk fairly slow. So I think I think there's two that were um like I said, Falcon Watch over, the Blood Elf Tower that's over there. There's one over there, and then obviously by Thralmer Dark Portal side, um, there was another one. But bane of everyone's existence. Um, Talked about Serpent Shrine and Tempest Keep and the Black Temple. Um, Zul'Gurub also came out, I think, in Burning Crusade, which that's where that's where that whole ding thing came from. When people level up, they're like ding, because there was a boss there that when they killed you, they would level up, and he would be like ding, because it was a troll. So I think Zul'Gurub was Burning Crusade as well, right? Um, I only went there twice, three times maybe, and each time we got to the same fucking boss and mob, and then we died. And then we're like, okay, let's call it a night. Hey guys, that was a really good run. Even though we only beat one boss, we didn't really even beat it. But yeah, we'll try again next week. It's an adult Morty. Oh man, oh jeez. But yeah. Yeah, I wasn't really much into raiding back then. I did Black Temple a few times. Like I said, we never when I went, it was never with a guild that could just complete it. They always fucking died like the first goddamn boss. So I at least got to experience it, but I didn't get to go the full length of it. Actually, with Black Temple, I think we actually did get up to Illidan, but then we died. So I remember specifically getting up to what's her name? The freaking mistress. Uh, God, I can't remember. Because I distinctly remember trying us dying tons of times, just trying to fucking get up to her. You know how you have all the freaking the mobs, the girls, and yeah, I distinctly remember dying over and over in not my guild trying to get up to her. So yeah, I think that was like the furthest maybe I got. I think maybe I got up to Illidan. I don't remember. This was back in 2006, so my memory is fucking horrible. I barely remember what I did yesterday. But Serpent Shrine Cavern, same thing. We managed to get up to Lady Botch. We didn't beat her, of course. Um, we got up to Kael'thas and Magister's Terrace. Well, not Magister's Terrace. Wow. Um, Tempest Keep. Same thing. We didn't beat him. Gruul, I think I went and we didn't beat. I think we went to McTheridan. We didn't beat him. Karazhan, my god, we were in there for like 3 fucking hours. We only beat like one fucking boss. So my guild, needless to say, was not the best. So, but anyways, if you want to hear me ramble on some more, just let me know. I'm gonna end it now before I go on for like 5 hours about World of Warcraft and Burning Crusade and all that stuff. But anyways, that's gonna do it for me. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You guys know the drill. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.